Hi, I'm Larry Simmons. So good to have you with us today. We're sorry we can't be in person with you, but we chose to film this and to present it to you virtually so that you could share this with your friends, your family, your neighbors, and others that may have an interest in the ministry of the Pregnancy Care Center. So I want to ask you right up front, one of the things we're going to be asking you for today is, will you help us? We can't do this by ourselves. We all give, every board member, both in time and money, because we believe in it. But you know what? We're just a small percentage, so we need your help. Regardless of whether it's $5, $10, $15, $20 a month, we have some people that give more. The bottom line is, all of it comes together for one reason, and that's to save children's lives. And so we thank you for doing that. And we're excited today to be able to present this video to you. I want to introduce to you my good friend and our board president, Herman Gunter. Take it away, Herman.
Hi, I'm Herman Gunter. It's my privilege to serve as the board president for Pregnancy Care Center here in Lake City and Live Oak. It's been quite a journey and an experience to serve on this board. About 15, 20 years ago, my wife and I began to get involved through the Walk Run for Life with our family. That's become an annual tradition. It was actually at one of the annual banquets hearing Abby Johnson speak that prompted my wife and I to ask if there was anything more that we could do to be involved in this ministry. I approached Donna Sandage at that time, and she asked me if I might be willing to serve on the board. Wow, what an eye-opening experience to serve on this board. You truly get to find out what it means to love life through this ministry. The lives saved both physically as well as spiritually, ultrasounds, counseling, and the like. You get to hear all of these stories through these wonderful employees as well as our volunteers. The ministries that we have here, reaching the fathers as well, inviting them in to see that ultrasound, to have their eyes opened, as well as men's ministries like the Fatherhood program to teach them to be godly men, are so important in improving our community and showing forth the love of Christ. God truly loves life. He tells us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And boy, this has been an unbelievable thing to see through the Pregnancy Care Center. Whether it's a phone call at midnight from someone absolutely desperate, doesn't know where to turn, but they're seeking to do something about the abortion pill that they had just taken. And we get to share the news of the abortion reversal pill, or perhaps even more recently, the opportunity to go out into the community around us with the mobile ultrasound unit, saving one life at a time. This truly inspired my wife and I to begin supporting this ministry on a monthly basis. And I would actually ask you as well, if you have the opportunity and you love life and are moved, reach out to the employees, the volunteers at the Pregnancy Care Center. Learn more about the ministry, and I would encourage you to do as my wife and I have. Add the Pregnancy Care Center to your monthly budget, or even on an annual basis. To those who are already giving, I would say thank you. We truly love life here. Through your work and through this ministry, we see God change lives. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Herman. I'd like to introduce you now to our Executive Director, Laurie North. And we believe she is where she is today because God has brought her to this moment in time with a story. And I would like for Laurie to share that story with you now.
My name is Laurie North, and I know I may not be exactly who you expected to see today, but our faithful servant and executive director of 12 years here at the Pregnancy Care Center, Donna Sandage, retired at the end of 2020 last year. So it is my honor and my privilege to pick up this mantle and move forward in the direction that God has planned for this ministry. If you have been a supporter for any length of time already here at the Pregnancy Care Center, you are very familiar with some of the things that we do. But for those of you that are brand new to this ministry and aren't really sure everything that we do, I want to share with you why the Pregnancy Care Center is so important to me. I know where they are at. I know where this mom who has this unexpected pregnancy and has no idea what to do, who to turn to, and has no one to lean on. I want to be a part of a ministry that serves women just like me. Well over 20 years ago, I walked into a hospital in South Carolina and delivered a 7-pound perfect baby boy. Just a few hours later, I bent over, kissed the very soft, head of that little boy and placed him in the arms of his new mom, and then walked out. Not because I didn't love him and not because I didn't want him, but because I loved him so much. So that is why this ministry is so important to me. That time in my life has formed the person that you see standing before you today. And it matters to me that these women who feel invisible, who don't feel like they matter, I want to be there. I want to walk this walk with them. And through the Pregnancy Care Center, we get to do that. As you can see, the Pregnancy Care Center serves women just like me. And during this past year, it has become even harder because of all that we are facing in this crazy time where COVID has just taken over. We were able to serve over 600 different clients last year, and we saw them over 2,000 times. We did over 300 free pregnancy tests and over 600 free ultrasounds. Out of the women that we saw, 124 of those women were at risk for abortion. But 111 of those we know for a fact chose life. Here at the Pregnancy Care Center, we provide so many other valuable services, not just for mom and not just for our babies, but the entire family. Over the years, I have personally learned to trust God's guidance in my life. And our board has been faithful to this ministry to make choices according to His will. After months of prayer and fasting, we have felt Him directing us and leading us to serve the men in our community as well. So when you think of the Pregnancy Care Center, we don't want you to just think it's a place for our moms. This is a place for our families. So if you feel the Lord leading you to do something for this ministry, if you believe in what we are doing, I would ask you to definitely be in prayer for this ministry on a regular basis, not just for us, but for the families in this community. I know that you are able to do that. But if you have the extra, if you are financially in a place that you can provide for this ministry, I'm going to ask you now to become a monthly giver, whether that is financially or prayerfully or both. Our ministry needs you.
Please take a moment now to text BABY21 to 41444 and consider becoming a monthly giver. By supporting the Pregnancy Care Center, you will provide hope, help, and love to families in our community.
Laurie has shared with you a number of statistics today, and those numbers are so important. But I'd like to call your attention to one person whose life was changed forever by the Pregnancy Care Center. One person who had no hope. One person who had taken the first step in abortion because she was hopeless. But then the Pregnancy Care Center was there, and they began to deliver to her that compassion, that understanding, and also the right method for reversing the abortion. And that comes only through your giving. Today, she has a beautiful young baby, and she's going to share that story with you today. And it thrilled my heart as I watched her, and literally tears came to my eyes. I watched Brittany share her story. So I'd like for her to share with you now.
Hi, so I am Brittany Aldridge. We have a beautiful family. We have 2 girls, one is 5, the other is 2 and rebellious. So my story is, we were planning for him. Out of nowhere, that's when the whole COVID had hit. When COVID did hit, I got stressed to the max. And then all of a sudden thinking like, oh man, I can't be pregnant. Like this is the wrong timing now. What am I gonna do? I was very judgmental on abortions. I never considered one. I was one of those females where, why would somebody do that to themselves? Why would somebody do that to an unborn child? Now that I was going through my situation, I had those demons pop up in my head. Hey, this is what I need to do. This is what I have to do. The whole time in the clinic, that's exactly what I was fighting. I know I'm doing something wrong. I wanted to cry. I was shedding tears. But at the same time, hey girl, stop. You're going to feel better tomorrow. Everything's going to be gone. You're okay. I was forcing myself. Plus, it was kind of like the whole process was like, okay, let's hurry up. Let's go get your blood test. Let's go see the ultrasound. Let's go get your shot. Not one time did somebody say, hey, are you sure? You look down, you're kind of tearing up. Do you want to go home and think about it? Not one time did somebody come up and ask me that. I had gotten in the truck, and that's where I realized, hey, like, what did I just do? I broke down in the truck. So I went home to my significant other. Because he was against it the whole time, I was the one for it, which made me feel even more guilty. I had called the abortion clinic back. I told them, hey, yesterday tore me up. I was on the fence. I did it anyways because I thought I needed to. Now I can't go through with it. Like, I can't do it. What's going to happen to me if I don't go through it? And that's when they literally told me, like, no, you have to. You have to take them. Me, I hung up the phone. I didn't like the answer. I'm already thinking like, oh my gosh, I've already killed my baby. I've already done damage. Should I take the pills? Should I not take the pills? But something, inside me was like, you're not gonna take the pills. I never Google stuff, and this is where I could say Google literally saved my life. Finally, a site popped up, Abortion Pill Reversal. I did click on the link. I got a call from Pregnancy Care Center in Lake City, Miss Cindy. She's like my new mother now. She's my saving grace. And I had my first ultrasound, and he was still kicking, he was still moving, still had a heartbeat, and nothing is wrong with him. And I couldn't thank Pregnancy Care Center enough for their support in women making these decisions and literally saving my life and his life.
Did you know 64 to 68% of pregnancies proceed to term after women choose the reversal protocol with no increase in chances for birth defects? The abortion pill reversal is literally saving lives.
So you've just seen the results of a baby who is alive today because of the Pregnancy Care Center, because of the abortion pill reversal that was administered. And that's just part of what your contributions go toward, not only preventing abortions, but even when an abortion is done, that we can reverse that in a certain period of time. And that's what exactly happened here. And I tell you what, it's exciting to see this life and her family, and to know that they're all alive today because of your efforts and your giving. And we appreciate it so much.
There is an easy way to give to the Pregnancy Care Center. Simply text BABY21 to 41444. You'll be sent a link right to our donation page. The role of men in our families cannot be underestimated when a woman finds out she's pregnant. 3 out of 5 women say that the unborn baby's father has the biggest influence in choosing abortion or life. That means the father can be a significant partner in preventing abortions locally. Did you know that 2/3 of men openly expressed their guilt over their personal involvement in deciding to have an abortion? With your help, this can be prevented.
So I'd like to introduce you to a program that we're doing that has more emphasis, that we're putting more emphasis on, and that's our fatherhood program. And we have 2 men that are leading that. Randy Hicks and Richard North are both men of honor that have stepped forward and said, I want to help. And so what they're doing is they're teaching men how to be fathers. It's not intuitive. You don't just grow up and learn how to do this by yourself. Many times you need someone to show you. And so that's what Randy and Richard are doing. And they're so committed, and I'm so thankful for these 2 men. I've known them both for a long time. And they're wonderful, wonderful men who give of their time at night to help other men grow.
It's important that we acknowledge that fathers also may need help and hope as they face a new pregnancy. This is why we have taken the time to invest in a program to help fathers come in, sit down, relax, talk to one another, open up to one another, and learn from one another.
As men, we need to remember that our God-given role is important to our families, to our communities, to everyone surrounding us. The problem is, most men don't know what it takes to be an authentic man.
We believe that society has actually let men down, causing them not to take on their own personal responsibility. We have men running away from the fight instead of running to the fight. And to me, that's the worst thing that a man can do to himself or the father can do to himself is to run away from what he needs to be running to and embracing.
At the Pregnancy Care Center, that's what we're trying to do with these classes, is teaching men how to be an authentic man and give them the tools it takes to do so.
And that is why we're hosting these fatherhood classes for men, to help them to come in here and be the kind of men that they truly want to be.
One lesson I've learned in life is that we all make mistakes. The trick in life is to learn from your mistakes and move on. You can't move forward if you're always looking backwards.
Another thing that we've seen today is that men have lost their hope and the desire to even want to do the right things. We need to regain our moral code and be willing to stand up for it. And you know, as Christians, I think we can all agree that society is heading away from God, they're heading away from family, and they're heading away from marriage.
As young men, heck, as older men, you don't have to be a victim of your surroundings. God wants us to make choices to do the right things, to live as He would have us live, to be the authentic man that He wants us to be.
We can take the high road. We can set the standards today. We don't have to follow the herd mentality.
You don't have to conform to society. God wants us to be the outcast in society and live for Him.
We believe that men can be responsible and can be set free. We believe that if men have the right kind of companions and the right kind of tools, that they can change their life, they can change the outcome, they can start building a strong family foundation, they can start building a strong foundation with God.
All through my life, I thought by going to church made you a Christian. That doesn't. Being a Christian is about a relationship with God, our Father. He loves us. He wants us to have an abundant life.
And we believe men can stop running away from God and start running to God, and not only run to Him, but bring their families with Him.
It draws you closer to your family and teaches you how to treat those around you. Because without that relationship with Him, you'll never learn what true love is. And without true love, there's nothing.
We want every man to become the authentic man that he wants to be. You know, maybe even the man that his father never was to him. That's our goal. That's our desire for him to become that type of man, the kind of man that he can be proud of.
Unfortunately, all of us, including myself, was led by a terrible example. That doesn't have to be how you live your life now.
You know, we understand that the only time that you're in a hopeless situation is if you refuse to do anything to make it different. And we want to see these men make different choices and become different men.
I stopped looking in the rearview mirror and knew that it was time for me to change my life and stop blaming everybody else.
You give to this ministry as you provide the tools for these men to actually build a firm foundation that they can stand on, that they can build their family on, and then that their sons and daughters can come behind them and build on that same foundation and continue to build strong families, continue to build strong communities, and to continue to build strong faith in God.
Without the tools you need and knowing what it takes to be an authentic man, you can't be an authentic man.
So thank you again, and we do appreciate your consideration in donating to this very important part of the family that we need to minister to. Thank you so much.
The Pregnancy Care Center provides services to families when they need it the most by providing pregnancy tests, sonograms, abortion pill reversal medication, and counseling for mothers and fathers. We share the love of God. Join us by becoming a monthly giver today.
As you can see, you've seen the elements of the Pregnancy Care Center, what we do, but I want to share with you a couple of things that maybe you didn't know. Within our Pregnancy Care Center, one of the things that we do is we provide car seats for our parents, and we train them and certify them. We have our baby store. As our clients, both men and women, go through classes on how to be a mother and how to be a father, they earn baby bucks. And every time I go to our Pregnancy Care Center in either Lake City or Live Oak, I always walk in the baby store. And I'm so excited when I see these little shoes in there that a mom can walk in and use the baby bucks that she's earned from taking classes, or the dad can walk in and he can use his baby bucks. He can say, "Here, honey, take my baby bucks, and then we can buy this and this and this." The thing that I know is most special in my mind is the love that I always see. The love that I always see. It never fails, ever. That when a mom comes in and she's distressed, she's hopeless, she doesn't know where she's going, she's struggling, wondering, well, how am I going to do this? I have a child already, I have 2 children already. I don't know if I can do this. And what happens is one of the first things we do is we pray with them. And we help them find hope. And that's a part of what we do at the Pregnancy Care Center. And I want you to know today that I think of when I asked my mother at the end of her life, I said, Mom, what are you most proud of? And she said, son, the good seeds planted. So folks, I want to ask you to plant some good seeds. These seeds will bring forth a harvest. And I promise you today that if you'll consider this, God will bless you. That's not what we give. But I want you to know that why I give to this ministry is because I've seen the lives that are changed. I've seen the women, the clients that are in there. I've seen the young men that are sitting in those classes that have never had a father before in their life. And all of a sudden, they have someone giving them the path of how to do this. And I tell you what, there's nothing greater to me than seeing that. So I'd like for you to consider giving. There are many things I may stop doing, spending on this, spending on that, cutting here, cutting there. But I will tell you there's one thing I'll never stop giving to, and that's the Pregnancy Care Center. That's how much it means to me. Thank you.
Join the individuals, churches, and businesses in our community who have committed to saving lives. Become a monthly giver by texting BABY21 to 41444. We are asking for your prayers and for your commitment to become part of the solution. Help us give hope, help, and love to your friends, your family, and your neighbors.